There are trillions of cells in the human body. And these body cells, they largely replace themselves every 7 to 10 years. So as we look at this time-lapse photography of this young boy growing up, every 7 years there's a completely new physicality. Our memory, spirit, personality, they don't leave when the matter changes. As we watch the atoms in this man changing over the years, we watch this incredible saga. The personality, the memories, the soul, the spirit, they're not contained in the matter, because that matter is different. Every 7 years, we're completely new. All the electrons, all the protons, all the atoms are different. But yet, there's something inside us, that spirit. It's not of the matter. We are bodies of energy, and as we think, we are. As we think, we become. Now, there was a movie, The 7-Year Itch, because as we said, every 7 years, your hardware, all your cells are renewed. And in the movie, The 7-Year Itch, there was an idea that relationships that didn't grow together would grow apart. And that people every 7 years, they would start to develop desires, uncontrolled desires, if they didn't really grow together.
It's very important to communicate, to look into each other's eyes, to go into the same direction, to share, care.
Every day, try to develop some time in your relationship, whether it's work, family, intimate relationships, wife, husband, spouse, whatever. All of this stuff, work together to grow together, not to let yourself grow apart.
And this is a daily work. Like everything else, what we want to make grow and expand, and we want it to work, we have to put in the energy daily and take it seriously, be committed, disciplined, honest, and be there for the other one, be there for each other.
We have the ability to evolve, to learn, to grow. These are all things that are happening in our soul. These are all things that are happening inside the soul, inside our hearts, inside our minds, and inside our relationship. So we have to work for this. Now, there's a German lady who had the idea that marriages should only be 7 years. And at the end of 7 years, you should have to renew your marriage, renew your relationship, because of the idea of the 7-year itch.
7 years is a long time, and it is enough time to see and decide if you want to continue with the other one or not. Are you still committed to the marriage? Are you faithful? Are you in there? Is your soul, your heart in there?
In the movie, The 7-Year Itch, there's the whole concept of this. And this is something embedded in our culture, that we all understand that after 7 years or so, there's sometimes a need for a change. Well, if you don't change together and grow together, you're going to grow apart.
Desiree and I have been together for almost 14 years now, and we realize that every day we have to be committed and to be together, spend time together, work on the relationship. And it's time for a new commitment every year. It's time to renew vows. Every 7 years, the human consciousness, the energies, the DNA, epigenetics, and our soul renews, like we are receiving an update every 7 years. And when that happens, it's time to make a new update in the relationship, new vows, new commitments.
So reestablishing the vows is an important part of any relationship. And a lot of times there's resistance. And oftentimes there's resistance because people don't want those vows. But the wedding vows need to be taken seriously. And reestablishing that connection. Recognizing that it's a battle, that every day you have to work to try to find inside the confidence and the mental ability in each other and in the relationship. And you try to work together every day to spend at least an hour growing together, not growing apart.
To support a relationship and growth together, it's great to undertake things together, to travel, to watch movies, to share opinion, communicate back and forth. Even the opinion is different. It is nice to be able to discuss all kinds of things together, make decisions together, and go into a similar direction. That's the key part.
And look at where we are, look at who you are, and recognize that every 7 years you're different mechanically, biologically, to restore your health.
And the relationships grow when we celebrate life together, we hold each other's hands, look into each other's eyes, and live every day worth living. Cherish every moment, appreciate every day as a blessing. Every day can be a Valentine's Day for a great relationship.
And you have to learn about the spirit. Now let's talk about the spirit. Spirit, our personality. First, it's shaped by our parents. Later, it's shaped by our friends, school, education. We start to develop who and what we are, that sense of who we are. Develop that power. And this is strengthened by guided self-observation that helps us to develop more and understand and focus our minds. Our mind is partially a quantum computer of microtubules that use quantum entwinement to communicate within and without.
A change in the microtubules in one brain cell can affect microtubules in another. Quantum theory claims that every single point in space, even empty space, can contain information. The information in the microtubules can connect and become entangled with the universe outside the brain.
Through quantum entwinement, we can communicate with others, telepathically, yes, and even affect things through time and space because of this development of the entwinement of all things in the universe. Many people fail to develop their soul because they are distracted by trivia, greed, anger, delusions of false belief, addictions, other things that are just not important, social media, etc. Their minds don't really develop, neither does their soul, whereas others resist the distraction and develop the power of their soul to a high levels of spirit. They utilize exercise, yoga, good diet, and develop and concentrate on their health and focus development of their soul so that they can last and make an eternal soul. And their soul can last and develop past the limitations of their physical body. This soul, this spirit, this energy form, you see, we can extend it beyond the body. If we're driving the car, we can imagine that that car now is a projection of us. We try to protect it. If we get hit, we say, oh, the car got hit. Then there's the force of daydreaming. When we daydream, we have that imagination. We can go other places with our minds. In fact, the universe is our oyster. We can go anywhere. So we start to see that what we are, that soul, that spirit, that personality, that is us, it's not in the atoms. It's not in the matter. It's not in the DNA. What we call us is like software inside the hardware of the body, but a software that extends through the whole world web, beyond the body, through the universe. And it's time to wake up. We have spirit. Most people believe that our spirit survives death. And many, many people, vast majority of people, believe in a type of past life, that soul, that spirit, that software can go through time, space, so that software is not tied to that hardware, that it can move. Most people in the world believe this. They believe in the soul, the spirit.